Welcome to High Oracle's Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And this is a client edition. Brother Mario reached out to me, and his sister-in-law said that she had used my services for cleansing negative energy. And she recommended me to him, and he was kind of skeptical because he was having problems with his genitalia, and he was having problems in his marriage. So we wanted to address the issue and remove the negative energy from him. So he decided to book the healing candle, the healing bath, and the healing anointing, from my website. From one of the posts that I have done here. Also, he was looking at me on my channel here on YouTube, and he booked his order, he booked his session, and I reached out to him for a healing time and date, and he was able to set up that time with me, and we talked about what had been going on in his life. So I did the healing cleanse on him, and immediately he felt a sense of relief. Immediately he said that he had went to spiritual healers, or so-called spiritual healers before, but he was able to feel a sense of relief off of his health, off of his mind, his body, and oppressive spirit left him. And when we continued into this cleansing ritual, and he was able to discard his egg away from him, then he said that people from his family reached out to him, and these people had not talked to him in many years. So they were trying to reconnect a vibration. They were trying to reconnect a frequency to him that I had to advise him, and this is why I say I advise people, because I cannot tell you what to do, but I can give you the best consultation. When he reached back out to me and he told me this, I had to advise him not to take anything from those people, not to allow them in his house or around him, because they have identified themselves as the persons that has sent negative energy to his health. Okay, so this blockage that they have sent to his health, and I asked him, could I use his story? And we've been discussing this many times on this channel. The persons that has sent the blockages to his health, to his genitalia, in order to try and destiny swap with him, in order to try and send the evil eye negative energy throughout his life. Okay, and he's 37 years old. And again, I asked him if I could use his story. A lot of people, a lot of men, they feel embarrassed because what's going on in their life. They're in fear of losing their wife, their woman, their relationship, because they have blockages on their genitalia. There's blockages that either someone that they've been with or someone in their family who has harvested, your star to reproduce. And I want to remind you, men, that God told you to go forth and be fruitful. Okay, so when you're having a problem all of your life, and you either have 0 children or 1 child, then someone has sent you a blockage. Okay, and if you do not address that blockage, it's going to go over into a generational curse. They're siphoning your energy and harvesting your energy. So they have, stolen your children 444, as I'm saying that. They've stolen your seed. They've closed your womb. They've closed your seed so you cannot reproduce, so that they can reap that benefit of your relationships, of, having the children. And you will need to look around you. And I'm just going to let you know, when I started to talk to him, he felt a lot better. And, he felt that, it's not a judgmental type situation. We're removing that negative energy. And it has to go back to whoever sent it. So when I started to talking to him, and I started asking him, who in your family has a lot of children? On what side of your family has a lot of children who are mentally ill or physically challenged? And it's multiple of them. Okay. And he was able to tell me that this specific, uncle had that on his side of the family, where there were multiple children that were born that were mentally ill. And, I can guarantee that that was one of the persons that was siphoning his genitalia, the energy harvesting of his genitalia, his seed. And even before he was able to tell me that was one of the persons that reached out to him. Okay, so this is how we want to understand this for you men. I know that it's a very sketchy subject for you to talk about. I know that you don't like to reach out to people, but when you're seeing these types of patterns, you're not crazy. You are seeing these types of patterns for a reason. God is showing you this in your life so that you can correct this negative energy before it goes into your sons and your daughters. Okay. So whatever the entity has given you from the Holy Church, the Bible did not ever tell you that you're not supposed to go and seek help. Okay. That's what you're doing. You're going to seek help in stages, in steps. Okay. For yourself. The internal sickness that you're having that cannot be addressed by modern, medical doctors or modern science is because this is a spiritual issue with you, and it is going into a generational curse if you do not fix it. Okay, so it's not about feeling insecure. It's about, are you willing to take the risk of losing everything, of losing, your relationship, of losing everything. Okay. So we want to make sure that when you do not have health, if your health is declining due to a spiritual attack sent by your family members, uncle, a brother, a cousin, out of jealousy, you're going to have to address that. And it doesn't matter if it is, the patriarchy, that you're trying to hold on to titles and the patriarchy. You have to make a decision for you males. Are you going to separate yourself and develop your gifts in order to defend yourself from these types of attacks and your family and your seed, what God would have you do? Okay, so this is what I'm saying to you. And I want to leave you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because, I know the men don't like a lot of, drilling them, but I have to make sure that you have an understanding from the holy books as well. In order for, Jacob to run away from Esau because he was trying to harm his future, what God had planned for him, what God had given, to his mother, in order to further the future of Jacob, Jacob had to run away from Esau, okay, who was trying to unalive him, whom he had destiny swapped with Esau. Okay, so you need to understand that the destiny swap of your seed can be altered by narcissists, spiritual narcissists, by people who do not have your best intention. And this could have been going on for a while. And so, with with this brother, I just had to make sure that, you know, we were cleansing, and he was seeing the things. I let him know that he may see some signs, you know, and we got a big sign from 2 different people that tried to reach out to him that had not been in contact with him since he was a child. So 1001, as I'm saying that, so these people need to understand. A lot of you men need to understand that you're not crazy. You're seeing a cycle and a pattern, and the matrix will glitch when you start to cleanse that negative energy where they have been holding on to your seed and sending negative energy to your health, you know, for generations now, you know, 30 years now, okay, since you were a child. And we want to make sure that we are able to cleanse that negative energy. And whenever we see it, we want to make sure that we are addressing those issues. And I hope that you have received this message. And thank you for all of you who support me and, you know, have reached out and book your egg cleanses and book your consultations with me and book your sessions. I really appreciate all of you. I thank you so much. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to me. Leave a comment for me. Also, donate to my channel so we can get this message out and keep it going. Donate or give in offerings. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.